Good morning. Exactly. Well, hey, there you go. Okay, there you go. Exactly. I don't hear anything.
Are you interested in medical coding but not sure where to start and scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse. I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have been an LPN for 29 years. About 8 years ago, I transitioned into medical coding. In 2020, I started teaching medical coding to nurses who wanted to transition away from the bedside, and I helped them get certified in medical coding. And also, I am sporting my paraphernalia today. Well, I have a story for it. Thank you. That's right. There you go. It is.
are looking at documentation, you're looking at that op report, things you need to know. What was the technique that was used? This all helps you in determining what the accurate code should be. You should also be paying attention to what instruments are used. Are they using scissors, scalpels, brushes? You should pay attention to the nature of the tissue that is removed. Is it vitalized tissue? Is it non-viable tissue? Is there necrosis involved? Of course, you need to know the appearance and size of the wound. Is it fresh bleeding tissue? Is it rash? What's going on? What that tissue looks like? And then, of course, the depth of the debridement. So it's just the skin. Is it fascia? Is it subcutaneous tissue? Does it go down to the bone? So these are a lot of the things that you need to code these wound debridement. In the article, she says, determine the proper code choice first. You need to consider the depth of the debridement. So this is determined by the deepest depth of the wound tissue. Keep in mind, it could extend to the bone, but it won't be subcutaneous tissue. The depth of the debridement is only to the subcutaneous tissue. So you got to make sure that you're getting all of that information. The other part is that the surface area of the wound is in square centimeters. This is one of the things that I talk to my students about when coding in a technometry, because you have some things that are just in centimeters and you have certain codes that are in square centimeters. So make sure that you know the difference. And then the other thing that I just wanted to point out to your attention and your hearing pleasure is to make sure that you are up on medically unlikely edits, or MUEs. This pretty much tells you how many times that you can report the same code on the same thing according to medically errors. The other thing that they provide you in this article, which I thought was a really good article, is a couple examples. So there's an example of personal pressure ulcer and what happens there and how you should cope with that. And then there's another example of a person that in an automobile accident who has an open fracture and all kinds of stuff going on. So it gives you some examples, walks you through those. So if you have questions or concerns related to wound debridement, or if you're not 100% sure on if you're doing that accurately, I think this is a great article. So check out. Again, it's the ICD Monitor. So you go to ICD10monitor.com, and you can do a search for debridement, or probably get it.
Can I jump in?
Jump on in, sir. Jump on in.
I don't know why people seem to have a hard time with. Well, I think I do understand why people have a hard time with debridement, because I think that some people they just want the physician to spell it out. They want the physician to document excisional or non-excisional when it's not necessary. If you take into account all the other information that you can glean, because if they use scissors, or if they use a scalpel, that is definitely excisional. If they use a brush, it's non-excisional. It's If they use water, it's non-excisional. Like, there's all kinds of ways to debride the skin. So um it's just, I don't know why. I think that coders want more, they just want it spelled out.
We want it really easy. We want to lay down on the lap and say, here you go. Right. I think we special that way. Hey, NC worker, welcome, welcome. I think we special that way. And unfortunately, or fortunately, some folks have been spoiled, depending on who you work with or work for. Some folks are treated really well, and then others, you get into some of these larger institutions, you lucky if you get a support.
Period.
You're like, what in the world? You gotta just look for everything, through everything, to figure out what's happening. So
And if you try to chase the wrong one down for more details, see what happens.
Like, good luck with all those things.
Yes.
So, did you have some wonderful coding? Oh, wait, you got your merch.
Oh,
You got merch.
well, yeah, I do. But,
I love it.
but the backstory is when I applied for my trademark, I also had applied for, because you have to apply for classes. So there's a class for the business, then apparel is another class. So I pay for apparel as well. I had I had these shirts done in 2020, but I had the logo here in the center was a lot bigger. Now you know it took me almost 2 years to get my trademark approved. When I submitted the shirt, the attorney looked at it and told her staff to tell me I had to have the I had to have it, I had to move the logo because she said it wasn't a trademark at that point. It's a design because it's front and center. She said you can still use it, but you have to move it to like the left pocket, even if because this doesn't have a pocket, just in like that area,
Right. Like,
or on the back or on a tag. And I also had my website address. So she was like, take the website address off. So I had to have this redone so I could send it to them so they can resubmit my application. Because right now it's filed under future use and not actual use. So once I send her these pictures, then she's gonna go and file for me to get my trademark for apparel.
so you went through a whole like vetting thing. Like, I have a whole photography name. I have a photographer over there in Philadelphia, and have them work it.
Because my whole intention was the reason why I wanted it done because my plan was everybody who finished my class, I was going to give them a complimentary T-shirt. But it took them so long. 'Cause I don't even because I'm glad that I didn't start sending them out because I'm like, well, that's not I can't use it anyway. So now that I have the right size and she's approved it, then I can move forward.
Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm understanding. All right, I'm getting feedback from Miss Vicky. Good morning. Thank you for the feedback.
Okay.
She said I'm low. I'm not
Now,
outside, but I hear something in my background, so I don't know what it is, but I hear it.
but you sound really clear to me.
Okay. You never know. She said, but you sound good. Yay.
But that's because I'm on the earpiece now.
Yay. Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, you should consider a whole, you know, fashion shoot. Just
I really might do.
That's what's up. That is what's up. I love it. I love it. Um, um, so do what colors do you have? Or is it just black and the with the brown?
And I have navy, and I'm thinking about a green, but it's just when you go to pick out these things, they have so many different texture choices you have to go through. I had no idea, and it would be nice if you could feel them.
You like me, my husband. Wait, so when we go places, he was like, "Do you have to touch every single thing?" Yes, I do.
Uh huh.
I'm rubbing it in between my fingers, like
Exactly.
this is nice. So yes, I feel you on that. Do they provide samples? I mean, will they give you like little swatches of material? Maybe, possibly. Maybe you can
You
ask.
know, I didn't even think to ask because I mean they have a whole bunch of choices.
Hmm.
And this one, because the first one I got, I was like, I'm not getting that because it was rough. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Then because I buy T-shirts from people who are like selling things just to support, and I'm like, this is nice and soft, and I even wear them around the house. But I want something that's nice, that's going to be comfortable to wear. Nobody wants anything you'll take it off and have abrasions.
Well, we can code that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember. So what was it, a couple years ago, I just wanted some t-shirts for me. It wasn't, and then my sister was like, "Oh my God, those are really nice. I want to support. I want to get the t-shirt." And it was just because of the pearls. It had like a little circle with little dots, and my "Don't wish for it, work for it." And it was like the shirt was like $27. I was like, "Excuse me, ma'am and sir, who's paying $27?" But I guess that people do. I don't, I just thought it was a little over the top. So I never like pushed anything out there as far as merch. I was like, "That's expensive."
I bought a T-shirt from a comedian off of his website. It was $45.
You almost made me choke on the tea. Oh my God. Really? Okay, and I normally don't. We'll talk offline. I was about to say I'm about to
Okay.
plug somebody else's stuff, but because I normally don't plug others for real. But there's somebody I want you to check out. I think they are a walking master class in all of this on the online front, and you might want to check it out. And I can even
Okay.
give you like there's a discount code. I can even give you the discount
Okay.
code.
Thank you.
I love it, and like all the stuff that he's done, and it's great. So we'll talk about it. But
But I did want to share in terms of tea and networking. I have a friend who lives in Atlanta, and she went to this um Black Expat Expo.
mhm,
It was yesterday and today's the last day.
mhm,
It's their first annual.
okay,
And there were people there who had professions, but they didn't know, but they wanted to move, excuse me, they wanted to move outside the country and work, remotely. And she was like, you should think about coming next year or setting up some kind of advertising. She said, because she said, I met a social worker, and she was like, she wanted to work remotely and she wanted to leave the country, but she didn't know what to do. And she was like, it'd be great if you could, sell your transition into coding. I'm like, that's a great idea. I never even thought about that.
sir. Didn't I tell you we gonna be building stages? Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah.
We gonna be walking on stages that we didn't even know existed.
I'm like, it's people who want to get out that bad. I'm like, well, heck, we could throw together something.
Or not even those who, because I know there are folks that have like dual citizenship in different countries. So they live somewhere for so many months and then they'll come back for so many months. So I mean, if this whole pandemic has taught me anything, it has taught me that um, don't limit myself. There's no limit. Just because I can't see it, don't mean it doesn't exist. Just because I don't know anybody who does it doesn't mean it can't be done. Just because I don't, have a physical. I think we talked about that before. Like, there's no path. Do you make your own path? I mean, it's so much. I'm arguing back and forth with this publisher about this daggone book that I use for my class, and it hit me. You don't need that book. What you need that book for? Write your own book. It's like you got enough material, you got enough whatever. Write your own book. And I was like, but this
Yes.
was easy because then I can just go out and I can go, girl, write your own book. Put together your own stuff. I said, you know what? You are absolutely correct. And then, I'm a firm believer, and I've seen some of this. I've heard some horror stories just about ownership, like owning your own stuff. Like I'm so proud of you and your trademark and all of that. It's about ownership. Because trust and believe that name you got right there. Oh, folks want that. That's at the bit. You can probably sell that at a premium. Retire for life, because folks want that, especially those who are transitioning in that field. That was. Look at you.
I try.
Look at you. I love it. I love it. So yeah, it's just so much happening and so much going on. And I think I remember I went to it was local. It was it was some kind of women's conference, and I think it was like you said, their first annual. It was small. It was but I was like, but this you did a great job. Like you got the space. You had it was nice. You had a little swag bag. You had all of the things. They had vendors. They even had sponsors. And I was like, this is
Okay.
wonderful. So things are out there that just because you don't necessarily get invited to other folks' stages, you create your own stage. I know a wood person, but could you build me a stage, Bob the Builder? I mean,
That's right.
hell, we have a stage right here. This is technically our weekly stage where we come on and provide information um, to the masses. So I don't know. Like I said, boy, if the pandemic didn't show me anything, I always, I'm the forever optimist, so I'm always looking for the positive. It's like folks out here doing some things for real, for real.
They are.
And then people wonder. I had a conversation with one of my friends the other day. Like people don't want to work. I said people done got that entrepreneur. They figuring it out. Like I don't have to be bothered with microaggressions. I don't have to be bothered with not being promoted. I don't have to be bothered with code shifting and playing this game and all of this foolishness. No, no, we can figure it out. We can figure it out. We
Definitely.
are some resilient people. Juneteenth is right around the corner. We are some
It sure
resilient people.
is. Because let me tell you, like, I didn't, because as far as, business, normally I had people waiting when I announced a class. And it dawned on me, I wanted to start a class next week. But I got a couple people who were interested, but they all said, I want to do it later. And then it dawned on me, this is the first summer we've been out of lockdown. And it didn't even dawn on me until then. Then I was like, well, you know what? Well, I need me some coin. So I'm like, so so then I'm like,
I gotta have
well,
some money to be out here and out of
so
lockdown.
then I'm like, well, can I tell you that when I got the idea, I'm like, what? I can just go find a contract somewhere, for like 4 weeks just to get a little influx, hold me over till I can get another class going and come up with something else. And as soon as that idea came and left, I was like, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do, sir. I've known you how long, and if the one thing I know about you, that's not
It's
where he's
not,
letting you. It's not
and
where
it's
he's
not going to
letting you.
work.
Mm-mm. That's why they be coming, and you be like, I'm out. They come, you be like, I'm out. No. Mm-mm.
And I want to ask your opinion because now there seems to be because because I'm determined. I realize now that the media has framed Elon Musk as like the bad cop. You know how they do the good cop, bad cop. So they use him to do their dirty work. So he has made this announcement that remote work is over and that people need to go back to the office 40 hours a week. Now I'm like, first of all, like in HIN, people were working remotely way before the pandemic even started.
That's right.
So do you think that some of these crazy people will get the idea to want people to come to an office, or it's already just set in stone and it's not going to happen?
So here's the thing. I think so. How old is Elon Musk?
I
Do we
think
know?
he's in his like 30s or 40s.
Oh, so he's relatively young. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's about the money. And I always tell people follow the money, follow the money. So you have these institutions, corporations, offices, whatever. They have all these shells of places and they don't have anybody to come into these places.
That's true.
They have all of this rent or if they're renting the space or if they're owning the space is too different. But if they're renting the space, you got all this space for people and nobody is coming through the door. That's a problem.
Right.
I think it's, to me, for some industries, yeah, folks may have to. In our industry, no, it makes absolutely no sense to me. Everything that we need is remote. Everything is electronic. The records that we need to find the information happens electronic. Now, the actual services, well, you got some telehealth services. Don't even count that out. So, you have your physical face to face services, of course, surgeries and those types of things. Um, in facilities may happen, but patients are going to go to the doctor. They're going to do, but what we do on the business side of healthcare, we don't have to be there for that.
That's true.
We don't need to be there for that. We can get all the information you need. Now, I think for some people, employment, going into the office, it was social. Like, remember, like the office, like, it's, you go around the water cooler, you talk about what happened last night and what was on TV and what y'all watching, and look at them colors and look at this. So for some folks, it's social. But believe it or not, people have found ways to be social even in this environment. And I mean, there are several companies that are global companies that are hiring people all over the world. They may get together once a year at like an annual, team but they talk and they work and they're doing whatever they're doing for the betterment of that organization every day, every week, Monday through Friday, or whenever, it is that they work. I think, look at your productivity. Look at your, and wait. Let me just say, and with the price of gas right now, who driving anywhere? I swear, if I could learn how to ride a skateboard, I would.
That all of that came out because I looked it up. Elon is 50, so that's even worse because he knows
He
better.
knows better. He might. Or, yeah, he knows better.
But what they have done is they framed it because I watch a lot of like people who are in IT, because IT, like, they were like one of the first groups to say, because that at first they were like, oh, you could work remotely forever, but those companies that have said that have now kind of like backtracked it a little.
I think
And
certain positions, yes, probably not
right.
everything, but certain positions, yes. But then I feel like you should offer the flexibility. There are all kinds
So
of ways to do that. But go ahead.
here's how they're trying to set it up. They're basically, because of the fact that it's been done for 2 years and productivity has actually gone up. It's not like productivity has lacked during any time in the pandemic, so they can't even use the productivity thing. What they're using now is, if you don't come into the office, it's going to be harder to advance in your career because you won't get promoted, because you won't have FaceTime with the decision makers in the organization.
And that's BS. That's BS.
That's how they're trying to set it up
Because
now.
and so, look, you see, ding, 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 ding. So we can walk you through how to be successful and professional in a virtual environment. Let, I swear, if I could figure out how to do music and stuff in the background, I would. Because I need JC. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Ho. Oh, all you gotta do
All
is
right.
reinvent that and reintroduce yourself to someone. Hey, I know that one of my friends, she lives here in Cincinnati. She just got a job with a major company outside of our state. And she's going through this. Now it's kind of difficult because she's one of those social butterflies, and likes to be around people. But she's understanding that she just has to do this thing a little different. You just gotta pivot a little bit. So the same social butterfly that you are, you just reach out to me. Hey, can we set up a 15-minute, Zoom or Teams or whatever, where, I we can introduce each other. I'm new to the organization. I'm curious about what you do, blah, blah, blah. People love that. They love it when they were sitting in their office bored to death and twiddling their thumbs. They love it now.
That's
and
right.
they'll be open to that. And that's how you make those connections. That you get the FaceTime because you can see each other. Same, different. You can see each other. And then you figure out and capitalize on things that you have in common. So what are the commonalities? And that's how you make the connection. Ding ding ding. It can be
But the
done.
thing, It can be done, but the thing is, they're not even trying to entertain it. But that would be an excellent idea. If somebody came out with a book on how to be social in a virtual world, that would be great. Or a virtual workplace. That would that's the secret sauce.
Well, and then of course we got to get rid of those those micromanagers and as you like to say, gatekeepers of the world. We got to kind of move them out
Because
the way. But other than that, yes. So
because I they're the only ones who have a problem because they have nothing to do.
they have nothing to do. They ain't got nobody to watch. They don't have to. But again, I mean, depending on where you work in your organization, technically they do because they do have these kind of things set up on computers that watches keystrokes and times, and so they got that. If that's your jam, they have that for you. My thing is, I need to see the end product. Show me at the end of the day, did you do XYZ correctly? I mean, I don't know. That's just me. So do you? How do you feel about that? Do you think it's something that was just here today, gone tomorrow? Because well, we're still in the pandemic. I mean, we're still out
Well,
here
yeah, technically,
um,
but
trying to
you
figure
know,
this out until the next thing comes along. But well, I think that's another conversation too. um, it's just I don't know. I just think the opportunity this just opens the opportunity for others to see that this is something that's doable. And to your point, in health information, we've been doing this for years. We've been doing it for years. When they because really how many remember the days of a huge floor or half a floor of health information people in a department. That doesn't exist anymore. You lucky if somebody's sitting at a desk somewhere talking about let me get you your record. I mean, that doesn't exist anymore in any of those aspects of health information.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that the powers that be are a little shook because what I think they underestimated people working at home. They thought that people would be chomping at the bit to come back to work. They thought people were going to be ripping and running. Oh, I can't wait to get back to the office. And now that it's not happening, they don't know what to do.
And it created their
Exactly. And people are happier. People are more. I mean, you have to just think about the people who just had. There are people like in California who drive 2 hours to work one way. Just that alone. Imagine just having 4 extra hours in your day. That's quality of life.
not to mention the price of gas, but that's okay.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would be stressful. And I know a lot of people that have like 40, 45 minute commute one way. That is horrible. Horrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then traffic and parking.
People
It's just
like you come in with attitude. You leave with attitude.
exactly.
Like I gotta get home. You come in the house with attitude. Like you I think people have a better work life balance if that's the thing. I know people talk about you can't have a work life balance. But I think people are figuring things out. They're saying, okay, I can do this. I can carve out this amount of time specifically devoted to this. I think the one part, well, which used to get me in trouble when I worked in the office, because once I'm there, I'm working. Like I'm not.
No.
Am I coming up for air? Probably not. I'm just doing. And then be like, ma'am, would you please go somewhere? And so I had to be intentional about like getting up every hour and walking the perimeter, or getting or going outside, or going to get lunch, or going to. I would have to be intentional about that because once I'm on a project and it's in me, it we getting this done. We're getting this done. So
Yep.
and hopefully people are having the wherewithal to do that as well, and keeping that in mind that you do have to take the breaks you do have. But then I had like yoga in the daytime, like they provided us with yoga um at noon. So that would be my okay. I'm getting away. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to
Okay.
namaste. I'm going to downward dog. I'm doing it all. I'm doing the things for an hour twice a week. So that was always helpful for me as well. So And then I always have a little music in the background, and then just keep it going and what have you. But I really think, I hope they don't force folks to, well, because then some people are quote unquote threatening folks to come back, and they're like, okay, you could threaten all you want, I'll just find me a job somewhere else.
Because Goldman Sachs already tried it. They tried it a couple months ago, and people were like, no. They were like, I'd rather leave first.
And then they're wondering, like, well, we have all these jobs and we don't have these people. And be like, what y'all need to do is somebody needs to learn how to make gas, and then somebody needs to learn how to grow some food. Look, we all need a whole community of stuff. Let's get our communities back together. Yeah, somebody could be doing whatever, and we can all sustain ourselves in the community. But that's our
But you, but it's just like you said, you have to follow the money because, truth be told, this whole back to work thing is about money.
it's about money.
because because commercial leases are not 1 to 2 years.
Mm-mm.
Commercial leases are like 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah,
So these companies are on the hook for a lot of
a
money.
lot of money. Money going out the wazoo.
And you know those commercial landlords are not going to be, oh, I'll let you out of your lease because they know nobody else is going to come and take it.
Nobody's taking it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you can drive around these like office parks and stuff in your area, and you see for lease, for sale, all kinds of signs up, um, and with no signs of slowing down. Nobody is doing that.
No.
Nobody's doing
So it's really it's all about money. And then they were saying, 'cause then he's doing all this talking, but he's getting ready to lay off 10% of his people at Tesla.
why. Is he letting the people out?
I don't know.
I have noticed that I see a lot of Teslas driving around though.
I honestly think that that's good for urban areas because this country's big. And if you're out in Oklahoma City and you live 40 miles outside of town, where you going to gas up between your house? I mean, it's not like you can pull into the Walmart and gas up, I mean, and charge up there. Like they have no charging stations.
They don't do
Like,
them in their house. I thought you can have a home charger.
right, but then what if you travel? You gotta fill up. Like if you go to your in-laws or you go travel, like how
They
does
don't
that
have like a
work?
portable kind of something, or you just gotta
You
find.
can well, no, I don't think it's anything portable. Think you just have to find charging stations because like in the urban areas in California, they have them plenty of
Do
places.
we have them like a? Is it a Maya Target? It's something we have some nearby. Like they got a whole row where you can go in and charge. Hmm.
But I mean,
And then
imagine
there's
trying to
other
find.
cars that are actually um, being built around that same technology.
Well, I mean, I think probably for right now, the best bet for some of those people would be like a hybrid, where they use some gas and some electricity. I think that would be a nice little bridge until they can get it all worked out. And I think maybe that could have been part of this infrastructure bill that they didn't get through. It was supposed to be, something about, sustainability and charging stations would definitely be, a step towards sustainability, but they have to be accessible. Because then what happens if you run out if you run out of charge? I'm sure you can call AAA, but I mean, who wants to do that?
He's like, who want to call AAA and be out there for hours waiting for them to come pick
Exactly.
you up? Oh my goodness. But then, I mean, though that's job creation. You will have people who have to maintain and provide services to these charging stations. Um, I guess the only thing I'm thinking about, well, even in an urban area, you may be landlocked. You may not have the space to, but you could. I mean, look at property that's just sitting there vacant. Put some charging stations over there. Put something on there. Don't have me looking up charging stations this weekend, sir.
Because I think that when people buy them, there's a way that you can. It's not automatic. You have to call your electric company, and they come to your house and set it up. Like
Oh,
once you
really?
buy one, yeah, once you buy one, because it's not like you just throw an extension cord out the window.
Look, don't make it a hood station. So, everybody gonna be connected by a whole
Yeah,
password.
because back in the day, people. That's how people used to steal
That's
electricity.
how they used to do it. Be like, what is that hanging out of that window? Oh, we connected to the people downstairs. Who connected to the people next door? Who connected to the people over there?
That happened to my cousin. There was the people lived next door to him because he lived by himself. People lived next door to him, and it was like 10 of them in the house. And he couldn't figure out why his bill was so high. Coming to find out he was moving some furniture and found that they had drilled a hole between the walls. And there was this orange cord plugged into one of his.
They ain't even had the courtesy to ask and then slide dude some money, like, hey,
Mm-mm.
wow, wow. That's what, 10 people. And if he
It
living
was
by himself, I know he's like, I don't even be here. Oh my goodness. That's interesting.
it
So
is.
interesting.
So yeah, so Elon's trying to push this back to work. I mean, they are really trying hard too. But it's always people. I mean, I get the old crotchety folks. I get them. They
The
just
old
don't know.
crotchety folks.
They just don't know no in any other way. I get that. But it's a new. I mean, it's a new day. Like, and the younger workforce, they are very tech savvy.
They
So
are. They are. And could do like the one thing we did, well, had to fight folks left and right. But like even at our church, there programs that you can remote in. So I don't ever have to step foot in. I could just remote into those computers over there and do what I need to do and have what needs to be done from right here in my own home. Why do I need to go over there?
because the people who are making decisions don't know how to cut and paste. That's why.
Ah, yeah. Or they,
So they
they scared
so
of
they
computers and scared of technology.
exactly. They think everything, and people have been fighting technology for, oh my god, 20 something years. I mean, I remember when they first started in nursing. We started having computers to look up things. I mean, the older nurses fought it like tooth and nail. They didn't know how to use this. Some of them refused. I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, but what? It's not going anywhere. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, yeah. And even with like the AI or whatever is happening, um, on our end, I mean, again, we've talked about this before. You just have to you figure your figure out what works best for you in your role around that. So yeah, something that's easily doable using that technology may become the norm. However, somebody has to program the information, somebody has to validate the information. There are other things that can happen around that AI technology.
Definitely, because that's something that there Ahima has a lot of articles that they talk about it, but they never really talk about it in terms of how how a current person in HIM can position themselves. Like they never talk about that.
We need to figure out. I want to put together a round table discussion. I'm putting it in my paper, put it in my notes
Okay.
to talk about that because yeah. And I just realized my my term is over. My actual president elect term starts next month. I was like, that was so quick. That was so quick. Even though I get to stay providing advocacy duties because I love that part. And now that you all have given me some additional things to advocate for, we're gonna do that not only in our state, but I'm gonna reach out across the various states to see what can we do at a national level. Like, come on, y'all! I need to hear y'all. I need to advocate for this profession.
Definitely, because otherwise, if you don't, in about 5 years, it's going to be taken over by nurses.
and we need to stop that.
I'm telling you that's what's going
I
to
mean, that's the
happen.
reality. And but the thing is, not just nurses, for real, not just nurses. So, and then you'll be wondering, well, why does every job say I need to have a nursing license? Why does every job say I need XYZ? That'll be the reason why. That'll be the reason why. Cool.
Facts.
Yeah. So did you have a great week this week, or you see we on the mend over here? We could talk.
You sound so much better,
Oh
by the
my
way.
God. I was like, so we stayed in, we quarantined. I took my mom out yesterday. We went to her senior center, and I teach a senior line dance class. So we had our first classes coming back. They were like, "We missed you." I was like, "I missed y'all." So, so we got out a little bit, and I think it did a lot because she's been out. We had the week vacation, and then we've been out for 2 weeks. So I got to get her all the way back acclimated to routine and all of that. So we're gonna be fighting. I feel it in my spirit next week. So y'all keep me in prayer next week because I'll be fighting with my mama. Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to get up. I'm gonna need you to move. I'm gonna need you to whatever. We'll be back on routine. She's been living in the lap of luxury. But I'll be nice because her birthday is this week. Her birthday is Monday. So
Okay.
yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'll tell her. You know how she feels about you, so I'll definitely let her know. My man with the smooth voice, yeah. Happy birthday.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what's up. But yeah. I feel fine. Um,
Good.
I'm just praying that, and I hadn't heard anything about anybody that like got really sick or had to go to the hospital or any of those things. So, um, again, I believe vaccines and boosters work. So, we didn't have any of those types of situations, thank God. But
But that's what I was going to say because I'm sure that population, most of those people were vaccinated and boosted.
yeah, yeah, because I know most of the places that I go with seniors, they're like, show us your vaccination card, show us your information. So yeah, that was good. So what was that tea I saw you drinking, sir? I know you had a whole.
I had it was tea, but it's like matcha tea, but I put it in something cold
Oh, okay,
instead of
okay,
something hot.
okay. So it was just plain matcha tea, or did you mix it with something else?
I mixed it with seltzer water.
Oh, oh, thank you, Vicky. Um, okay. I never heard matcha with seltzer water. You're gonna have to give me the recipe
Mm.
because I like matcha. Matcha's good. I got a passion fruit matcha green something.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, it's a bar. I have to show you that. I think I got
Okay.
it at. Where did I get it? I might have got it at Whole Foods.
You know, age back in the day, I OD'd on. Remember Celestial Seasonings?
Hmm.
They they had they had a mandarin orange and a peppermint tea. I used to make both of those and then put honey in it. Oh my god.
I said I wanted to make this. There was this brand of tea that I had. It was a coconut. It was a chai green tea, a coconut chai green tea, and all the ones that I have tasted, nothing tastes like I didn't. You didn't need to add any honey, agave, nothing with it. It was so good, and the brand doesn't make it anymore. And so, in my mind, I'm like, can't I just go to the seasoning place and go get the stuff and scrunch it up and figure out the combination? And so, in my mind, I've been saying I'm gonna do that. Um, but then Stash is a tea brand that I like, and they have
Oh yeah.
a golden turmeric chai tea.
Really?
It's so good. And then, well, on those nights when I just need to have a little wind down, I add um, Bailey's almond because I'm vegetarian. I do Bailey's almond milk liqueur, and I add a little dollop of that. Makes my world feel so much better. Nothing like
Okay.
that in a hot bath, Lord.
Now Stash, I buy their green tea.
Hmm. Yeah, they have a pomegranate green tea that I love. That was like my
Okay.
favorite love with them. Yeah, yeah. And I'm like you. I be putting combinations together.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, I be putting combinations together. So I had to, I'd be like, what I'm in a mood for, and be like, okay, pick this, pick this, pick this. Oh, they have another one. It's a coconut mango. That's the bomb. That's really, really good.
Oh, that sounds
Oh,
good.
it is so good. And you don't really have to add anything to that. Like, I don't like coconut like meat per se, but I like coconut flavor.
Me
Um,
too.
and so yeah. Oh, so look, when I come to you, we're gonna have to do like a tea travel or a tea what do you do? Um tea stops. Like go to different places or get some teas or whatever. I don't know. We have to figure that out. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get together. We're gonna do our show. We're gonna put this on the road. For one Saturday. I'm going to Philly. I'm going to kick it in Philly. So I can't wait. I can't wait. That's gonna be fun. And we need to check out and see what's going on because look, we may be able to crash somebody else's stage while we there. Oh, while we there and meet some of the people that have come to know and love you and work with you in your program. And you have to make sure I got a shirt, order a shirt in my size so I can be repping the code nurse merch and all of the good things. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So what's on the horizon this week?
I have just some more advertising because I have some people who are kind of interested in starting July 7th. So I think I'm going to have an ICD-10 CM course start July 7th. So I have to start promotion for that and doing a video and all that other kind of stuff. And speaking of video, can I tell you, I could kick myself because for forever I have not edited my videos, so I just like, the heck with it. It's a lot of work.
Do you,
So
sir? I told you that's why I was late giving out the information because I've been editing. I've been in editing video hell. Let me just say that.
so me being extra, I'm like, well, I have Final Cut Pro,
Mhm.
I have Adobe
You
Premiere,
got all the things.
and I even have iMovie. Now I used iMovie years ago, and it's a breeze, easy to use. I'm like, you know what? Why not just use iMovie? I mean, I ain't doing no Steven Spielberg type technique stuff.
You might. You might. I have iMovie and I have Final Cut Pro, and it's just a lot. I probably just really need to sit down and have somebody give me a step by step instruction. I like certain things I can figure out, but iMovie was just a quick. Even though you could use the same commands or whatever in Final Cut Pro because it's all um, Apple Mac products or whatever, but it was like, why is all of this extra, extra, extra? Hmm.
So now I'm back to iMovie.
I love iMovie. iMovie is great. I
It
wish
is-
they had certain things that you could do, but there are some workarounds. Oh, let
yeah,
me.
there are.
So there's a man. Oh, what's his name? Michael somebody. He does a lot of things with iMovie. He believes in using like the free stuff that you get with your computer. And so he shows you how to do transitions and like some of the transitions that I've used in my ads or whatever, I've learned through him. Like you can use Keynote and do this or the other and then figure out and then you add it to your iMovie so you don't have to be like, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? You can just create it. So I'll hook you up with him. And he's
Okay.
very, I mean, you got a smooth voice. He got a smooth voice too. You'd be like, wow, okay. But he was an actor. He was an actor and a voiceover person.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. And his videos are really nice. And he's very, he gives you like, I'm coming to you from uh uh version this version that so you can check to see the versions on this particular date and so if it's uploaded or upgraded or updated then you can say oh, okay well the reason why I don't see this is because it's been upgraded or whatever so he's very thorough.
Okay.
He's good. He's good. We're gonna have a video class. And then again you should keep your
I'm sure you document. Oh, here come my lawn person. I'm sure you have document right on time because otherwise y'all gonna hear all this grass being cut in in the front yard. Um, you keep in all the documentation that you've gone through in order to get your trademark and all of that. That in and of itself, somebody wants that information. That's a whole other class, sir. I'm gonna need
That
you.
is,
I'm gonna need you. Come on now.
that's true.
So on those times when people be like, I want to be outside, I don't want to study. I got this real quick 249 class on learning the 10 steps you need to become a trademark entity. Boom. There you
There you go.
go.
It's so much information out there. It really is. And you just gotta, and it's just people have done the same thing. They were like, you know what? I can monetize this. It's marketable and people want it. So
Yep, it's the truth. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, it's out there. And that's why
yep.
people are not going back to the office.
No.
That's how people are figuring it out. What can I do to
Exactly.
maintain, or even at, what can I live on? What can sustain me where I don't have to have stress or worry or what have you, that I can do whatever it is that I want to do every day. Like even this morning, I went outside and planted um my little peppers in my container. I said, let me
Okay.
start. I said, well, let me take an hour real quick, plant these peppers, and I can say, check, I did that for the day. I feel like the
Definitely.
army at the army. You got so many things that you get done before noon.
Yes.
Cool. All right, all right. Well, I guess we are at the top of the hour. No one wanted to come up and speak today. Hey, Demetrius. Hey, Willa. Hey, Latoya. Nobody in the clubhouse, right? I didn't see a hand.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Y'all quiet
I've been
today?
looking. Yeah, they
Look,
are.
hopefully the stuff is twirling. Look,
Yes.
the cells are burning and you figuring out, well, wait a minute, I could do this, that, and the other. I know how to do this, that, and the other. Let me figure out how to do this, that, and the other. And if you need some
Exactly.
assistance or help, reach out. We got you. We'll walk you through
Definitely.
what we need, what I know. I've been doing this for a minute and we'll walk y'all through. Definitely.
Exactly. We all are still learning.
We all still learning. I learn something new every day. Trust and believe. Every single day. All right. Well, Mr. Jesse, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, as usual, I just enjoy this space. I enjoy spending time with you and the listeners, and I like dialoguing.
Yes, yes. This was fun. This was fun.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you all for joining us this Saturday morning with the Saturday morning tea. Was the tea spilled today? Was the tea spilled
Yes.
today? Early on, if you didn't catch that tea, you
Hmm.
better listen to the playback. Go to to the playback. You can get the information there.
And don't let them force you back to the office.
Hell no, we won't go.
That's right.
If this information was valuable for you, help us share this message with others by liking the video, sharing the video, and subscribing to the channel. You can also check out the Coding Nurse channel on YouTube, um, Facebook, Instagram. He's everywhere. You don't sleep on the Coding Nurse. He's out there. Last but not least, to my Clubhouse folks and family, click on the greenhouse to join in the fun on our club, and you will get notified of our live broadcast that usually happens every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think this has been a great session. We talked about all kinds of
Yes.
things. I think we were just in our little entrepreneurial spirit today, and hopefully, again, giving you some things to consider and think about as you navigate, even as you build your career. There's always some offshoots. There's always some things that you could potentially do that will not only help you um, and your family, but help others as well. So just
That's
be thinking
right.
about that. Thinking about that. Somebody may need to hear your voice as well. Look at that.
That's right.
Like I said, the one thing this pandemic showed me that there's all kinds of areas and avenues and stuff out there for folks to do, and you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. So this has been
Yes.
a great session today. Thank you all for joining, and remember, be safe, be kind,
And don't wish for it, work for it. Until next week, take care. Have a great week.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.